Hey everybody, and welcome to this video. This is going to be a first impression and wear test on the new Maybelline Dream Urban Cover Foundation. I've seen a couple of videos and a couple of people's opinions on this foundation, and I've heard really good things about it, so I wanted to give it a go for myself. So I did go ahead and pick up two different shades. Today I have the shade 228 Soft Tan and 330 Toffee. Those were the two closest shades to each other, so there was a pretty big jump from like the medium to more of like the tanner shades. So I'm not sure if either of these will match me perfectly, but we will see. And yeah, I'm really excited just to kind of see how this wears and if it's going to be a new summer foundation. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so like I said, I did go ahead and pick up two different shades. So this is 1 fluid ounce. It's pretty nice packaging, very travel friendly, not super heavy at all. It's very lightweight, and it has this little like squeezy tube packaging, kind of like the MAC Face and Body foundation, which is really nice. You can just kind of put it on and tap it out. So it's 1 fluid ounce, and I really like the packaging. So I'm going to go ahead and prime my face really quickly, then we'll get on to applying this foundation. So I'm going to start off by just using my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Coconut 3-in-1 Primer Water. Then I'm going to go in with this Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I don't really know my thoughts about it. At first, didn't really like it. Then I've been trying it a little bit more, and I don't know if I like it yet. So we're going to see. I'm going to keep on trying it out, because this is more of like a sticky primer, so it's supposed to be good to kind of keep your foundation lasting a long time. And yeah, so I think I just didn't like it paired with a mattifying primer when I first tried it, so I'm still testing it out before I make any final decisions. Oh, and I'm using the Makeup Obsession Picture Perfect Pore Blurring Primer. You guys saw, I just did a video testing out this brand, and I really like this primer. I've been using a lot of those products from that video since. Alright, so now that my face is looking nice and smooth, let's go ahead and apply the foundation. So like I said, I have two different shades. I have Soft Tan, which is a kind of more light medium shade, and then Toffee, which is a little bit deeper. I think I was really trying it with this color. Like I'm not that dark. Maybe later in the summer when I've been outside a little bit more, but I got a little bit of a tan, and now I think I'm like super dark, I guess. So this shade, Soft Tan, I think it might be like a little bit too light, but the other one's gonna be way too dark. So I think I'm just gonna go with Soft Tan. And I'm gonna put that much on, I guess. I'm gonna do one side with a sponge and one side with a beauty blender. I mean, one side with a sponge and one side with a brush. So I'm just gonna go on this side and use my Wet n Wild sponge. That is really good coverage, and honestly I think it actually matches me pretty darn good right now. Like, it blends into my neck very nicely. Actually, I don't know. Sometimes my foundations look like, oh yeah, they look perfect, and then I turn a different angle and it's like, nah, that's way too light, but we will work with it. So it looks very nice, very smooth. It covered up a lot. I think I could use just maybe a little bit more coverage right here where I have like more pigmentation on my skin, like hyperpigmentation. It's smooth right over my pores with that primer. It usually does. Like, that's why I really like pore filling primers, because they just kind of blur out my pores for the foundations to just glide on top. It looks like a nice matte finish, which is really good, especially for this time of the year and my oily ass skin. So yeah, now I'm gonna go ahead and go on this side with a brush and see what the coverage is like. Now, the only thing with this is because I'm squeezing it onto my face, I'm not sure if I'm like giving the same exact amount of product, so I hope that I am. I'm not like trying to put more on one side on purpose. If I am, I apologize, but I'm just kind of eyeballing it. I'm pretty sure that's about as much as I put on the other side. So let's go in with a brush. Alright, so I'm going to go in with my Sigma F84 angled kabuki brush on the other side. Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, so I'm using a dry brush and everything, so I didn't spray my brush, which I usually do, but I just kind of forgot. But looking at the two, I think the brush gives really good coverage, and it almost leaves it a little bit more dewy. Like this side looks a lot more matte than the side with the brush, and there's just a little bit more coverage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this and just use the brush for the extra coverage over here on this cheek. So I like the coverage of the brush, but I think that it just blends so much easier and so much nicer. The brush almost feels like it's like tugging at my face almost. So I don't know, like I like the coverage of the brush, but I just like how matte and like blended the sponge side looks. So honestly, just for like a easier, faster application, I would probably just go in with a sponge, but it can definitely, you know, get a little bit more coverage if you do use a brush. So there's that. And yeah, this is what the foundation is looking like. Honestly, I really like it. It feels super lightweight. Like I really don't feel like I'm wearing anything on my skin, and it gave me really good coverage. So I am so far impressed by it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off camera and finish off the rest of my makeup really quickly. Then we'll come back and talk about the claims of the foundation, if I agree with them or not, and then we will get into the wear test. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I am back, and I wanted to apologize because I'm pretty sure that first part of this video did not have very good audio, because when I went to turn off my mic, it was already off, so I'm pretty sure the battery died. So I apologize if the audio was not very good at the beginning. I'm so sorry, but hopefully that does not happen anymore this video. So yeah, so this is what the foundation looks like with everything on top. Everything blended on top perfectly fine. I think it looks really good. I like the coverage. I like that it's super lightweight, and it just feels like something that you can wear all summer long. So if it lasts throughout the day very well, then I think that this would be a really good summer foundation. So I'm kind of excited. I do think that this shade Soft Tan is just a little bit too light for me right now, but you know, throughout the summer as I get tanner, I think that it will not work for me. But for now, I think it's, you know, definitely okay. Like it's definitely wearable, usable. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but yeah, I'll kind of show you close up what my skin looks like. I think it looks really nice and smooth, super matte. I am literally, I'm sorry, let me just tell you guys, I am obsessed with this highlighter I got from my BoxyCharm this month. This is the Steve Laurent Jelly Highlighter in Prosecco Please, and I'm just like living for it. Like look at that nice shiny, like I like this highlighter. But anyways, yeah, this is what the skin is looking like. I like it, and I think that once my oils start kind of peeking through or start coming through, it's gonna look even better, because it does look super like matte and not dry, but just really matte. But I always have my face super matte when I start out, because as the day goes on, my face gets super oily, especially in this heat. It is like 90 degrees this week, so it is hot AF outside. So I just kind of would rather start off with really matte skin and kind of have the oils kind of seep through just a little bit, not really a lot, just kind of once they start coming through, it gives me like a nice dewy, not dewy, but just a nice, like, you know, not super matte look. But does that make sense? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like I just start really matte, and then throughout the day it doesn't look as matte because my oils start coming through. But yeah. Now let's move on to the actual claims that Maybelline has from this product. So it says that it's a flawless coverage protective makeup. It's lightweight foundation that has SPF 50 in it, and it's enriched with antioxidants to protect against pollution. So again, a very, very good product for the summertime, especially because you have the SPF in there. Now I already did do a sunscreen while I was doing my skincare, so I kind of just doubled up on the sunscreen, which, hey, that's not a bad thing. You know, you always want to protect your skin, especially in the summertime, all year around for sure, but especially in the summertime when I'm outside more often, because I do work with kids at a summer camp during the summertime, so we are outside and about all day long, and I need that skin protection because ain't nobody over here trying to get skin cancer and age prematurely, okay? Anyways, so now the benefits, it says experience Maybelline's first protective foundation makeup specifically formulated to shield skin from harmful environmental aggressors. The lightweight foundation has SPF and is enriched with antioxidants to protect against pollution. It not only leaves a natural looking finish but protects skin day after day. Available in 16 shades and is dermatologist tested. And then it just says to apply it to the skin and blend with fingertips, a beauty sponge, or a makeup brush. So you can apply it kind of however you see fit. I agree with all of that. I think it's definitely very, very lightweight. It is a flawless coverage. I think they just didn't want to say super full coverage. I mean, it's not the fullest of full coverage, you know. It's up there like a more fuller coverage. Like I would definitely use this and get away with this on my more natural days, or like my naturally flawless skin days. I don't know, like, you know, like not all the time do you want to be like super made up where you look like you have on a ton of makeup, even though I do. But like if you've tried like the new Juvia's Place foundations, like that looks like you have on thicker foundation. Like there are some foundations where you can tell like, damn, that bitch has on a lot of foundation, or it just looks like you have it looks like you have on a lot of foundation, but this one doesn't. Like it kind of really blends into the skin. It looks nice and natural, and I like it. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of wear this throughout the day. It is 1:05 right now, so I'm gonna wear it throughout the day. I'll probably wear it for at least 8 hours for sure, so I'll try to keep it on as long as possible without touching up, so you guys can kind of see how it lasts throughout the day. I do have a couple of errands to run, so I will be kind of running in and out between outside and stores and stuff like that, so I will be in the heat, so we'll see kind of how it lasts through the hot summer here in Northern Virginia. So yeah, let's go ahead and just go about our day, and I'll see you in a second. Alright, we're back, and the time is now 6:21. So this is what my skin is looking like so far. It's been about 5 hours, and this is where we're at. It's definitely a little bit oily, nothing like super duper crazy. Definitely think you can blot it and kind of go about your day. I did find it kind of started getting a little bit more oily towards like the 3-4 hour mark, so if you caught it at that time and kind of just touched up, I think it would be really good, and it could last a really long time. Now even this is not that bad. Like I said, I was out in the heat, it was really hot, running errands, going in and out of places, and so and it's really hot. It's like in the 90s, so for that kind of weather, I think that it has held up very, very nicely. Now I've definitely was expecting a lot more oils, because with a lot of foundations, especially in the summer times, like I just get oily. Like I just have more oily skin in the summertime, and I didn't use a mattifying primer, so I'm actually very, very pleasantly surprised by how well this is actually doing. Like I said, if I was touching up at this point, I would definitely just kind of blot off the extra oil, maybe put on a little bit more powder, and I think it'd be completely fine to go. But because I want to see kind of how far it lasts throughout the night, I'm going to go ahead and just leave it alone. So then in the next and final check-in, we'll kind of just see if I produce any more oils, if it gets any worse, any more oily, and if I can save it at that point. So that will probably be in a couple more hours. I am going to be going to the movies, so I'll probably be back like around 9:30, 10 o'clock. So we'll have a pretty solid day wear test, so about 9 hours, and then we'll see what it's looking like, if it's able to bring it back from that point, or if it's just, you know, too far gone. We will definitely see. So yeah, I will be back in a couple more hours and we'll see how the foundation holds up. Alright, so I'm back for our final check-in and it is 10:58, so basically about 11 o'clock at night. We put this on around 1 o'clock, so we've had it on for 10 hours. I definitely think that this lasted very, very well. Obviously, you know, it doesn't look brand new. I have my oil seeping through. It's you know, it's just, I know my face, I know my skin. I wasn't expecting it to be super matte and perfect looking all day long, especially after 10 hours and no touch-ups. But for it to have been in the 90s, for me to have been going out and about, doing errands, coming back, you know, in and out of air conditioning in the heat, all of that, you know, my skin sweating, not sweating, getting oily, all of those things. And for it to look like this after 10 hours, I am pleasantly surprised, honestly. I think that this is really good wear. Obviously, I think if we would have blotted maybe earlier in the day, like around the 4-hour mark when I checked in last time, it might have worn better. But like I said there, I wanted to see how it lasted without touching up, without touching it, and just kind of letting the foundation do its thing throughout the day. So I see what happens. So now we see kind of what happens when you just let it go. Definitely this is a foundation that after about, you know, 6-7 hours, you're either going to want to touch up or take it off, because it's just kind of had its moment and it's time to either revamp it or remove it. So I do not know where my blotting papers are. They're not in my purse, my makeup bag, or anything. So I am just going to use half of a piece of tissue and I will just do one side so you can just kind of compare and see what just taking off that oil, not adding any coverage or anything like that, just strictly just taking off that oil, what it does. So it just mattified my skin automatically. Honestly, I kind of almost like the oily side a little bit better. I think it looks a little bit too matte, but that's just me. Yeah, so this is what came off. So it's pretty oily. You know, I did have a lot of oils, but again, it was a 90-degree weather day, so what can you do? But I think just taking that off kind of it kind of makes my skin look a little bit flat. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a little bit of a powder. This is just the Maybelline Better Skin powder, and I'm going to apply that to where we blotted off the oil, just to kind of set the area, add a little bit extra coverage. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of a setting spray to kind of bring it back to life a little bit. What I like to do is I just keep like a little mini travel size setting spray in my bag. That way when I'm touching up, I don't like to look too powdery. Like when you take off the oils and then add powder, I feel like it can kind of make your skin look a little bit powdery and dry. So I always just like to go in with the setting spray just to take away the super powdery dry look and just give a little bit of life back into my skin. So as you can see, it doesn't look super oily like it did when I first got on, but it's also not super powdery like it was right after I blotted and added that powder. So it's kind of like a perfect in between where it's not too oily and not too dry. So overall, I think that this is a really good foundation. Now, to me, I don't think that this is a foundation that you can go 10 hours without touching up, just because I don't think that this looks like brand new or anything like that. Like, I think if we would have caught it a little bit earlier, then we could have maybe saved it even a little bit more and kind of prolonged it a little bit more. Now, this isn't terrible. This doesn't look super bad. It's just I just feel like I've had a lot of fading from just kind of blotting off that makeup and just fading throughout the day. So I feel like maybe if we would have gotten to those oils a little bit quicker, maybe we wouldn't have as much fading. I don't know. Like I said, this is my first time using it. This is, you know, I'm seeing what you guys are seeing, so I'm just kind of learning. I'm definitely going to keep on using it. I do definitely like it. I love the fact that it has SPF and it has those protective antioxidants, I believe, or those protective qualities in it from environmental factors, which is perfect for the summertime. Like I said, I'll be outside a lot, so I think I'll be using this foundation a lot throughout the summer. So I'll keep you guys posted, let you know if my thoughts change or if anything changes with the foundation later on in a video. But as for now, I think that this is definitely a good foundation, and if you guys have been interested in it, I say give it a go and check it out. I think it could be a really great summer foundation. Super lightweight, has those qualities of sunscreen and skin protection, and it's great coverage. So what else can you ask for? So hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Hopefully you guys liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me know down below what other videos you guys want to see from me, and I appreciate you taking your time to hang out with me to watch this video. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe if you liked it and you want to see other content like this from me. It's coming, I promise. And I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.